Kenmore East band teacher Phil Agulia is a semifinalist for this year's Music Educator of the Year Grammy Award. Today, I spoke with him about what that recognition means to him, his career as a band teacher, and how he inspires his students. Phil Agulia is up for the award for the second time, his first in 2015 when he also made it to the semifinals. But this time, he's all in, and he's not alone.
The first time through, it was the second year they had offered the award. The first winner was Kent Knappenberger down in Westfield, and it was so new. I didn't know what to think about it, and I was very nervous about it. So I didn't want to talk about it too much. I didn't want to jinx things. I kind of kept a lot to myself, and this time through, totally different experience. I've really involved the students more. I've made this a ride for us all to be on, because I feel like I neglected that part last time because I was so nervous about the scenario. What if, and now it doesn't matter. It's all of us.
Agulia spoke to how the Kenmore East band family is helping him out through their support.
No one rises to this occasion without the support and participation of all the people around them. I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to be able to highlight through this nomination, through the award, our program. We have a unique program here that's very diverse, and I'm really proud of what we've done over the many years. And I say we because I'm talking about myself and all the students, the band council members that have been real integral part of the movements and mechanisms of what we accomplish here. By myself, I could never do all the things that we've done, but through the students that I've had that have taken on strong leadership roles, and there's been so many that now in their professional lives are also leaders because they had the opportunity to spread those wings here, practice the skill sets of leadership. And I'm so proud of what we've all accomplished. And I don't know, that's really the thing I wanted to highlight is just, it's not just about the music. The music is at the core, but at the peripherals is where the growth happens.
Even through a global pandemic, he wanted to ensure inspiration and growth in his students.
During the pandemic, it was tough. I even found myself slumping into a depressive state. It was tough because, once again, that human contact and that ability to influence people wasn't really there, especially for me and kids. Like creating the Rising Star program through Music is Art. That was an important thing for me because I had a student here, Madison, who was like an amazing flute player, and it was her year to go to All-State, and she was like, had all this great energy moving forward on her flute, and there was no opportunity for her to play. And I was thinking about all these other kids in Western New York and around the world who were losing that junior, senior year opportunity to perform in honor bands and honor orchestras and so on, that would normally be there as resume pieces, as important parts of their development and the people that they meet and all that kind of stuff, developing who they are. And so I created that Rising Star program, for those kids so that they at least had something that they could have. Originally it was to go into a live studio and record and be interviewed, but that didn't work out. So the YouTube thing had to suffice, but it was at least something. They had a goal, and it allowed them to showcase their talents, and it gave an audience to their talents. So yeah, it's important. Because you only have one childhood, and you look back on your own experience, you think about the things you did and the things you wish you would have done, right? And as a parent and as a teacher, I always try and make sure that I influence people to do the things that they would regret if they did not do.
Instrumental in student success, Agulia always likes to keep things lively.
Part of our band council is Esprit de Corps. So our Esprit de Corps director, which is, her name is Sharia Natarajan, her job is to organize parties for different things, and today is Bandoween. So it's, we decorate the practice rooms, and we have practice room contests. Each class got their own practice room to decorate, and we'll judge those today. And then we have a party after school. And so we do stuff like that all the time. We'll do Ginger Day. We'll celebrate all the redheads in our lives, and everybody gets to be a ginger for a day. We'll do Pigtail Day, so everybody gets to be wear pigtails, including me. You wouldn't believe it. I look great in pigtails. But, you know, I mean, these are the things that kids that bring a smile. Because honestly, if, as an entertainer, my job is to make people smile, right? Make you reflect upon your soul in some way. And so when kids come to the band room, I want them to have that experience of smiling, of feeling something. And so any way we can elicit some type of a feeling, a positive feeling, and be able to transfer that to the rest of their day, it's important. During when we first came back after COVID, when we were locked in, and kids were coming back and they're all spaced out, I noticed that the kids were very tentative about being in a room together, even though they were spaced out. And I could sense the tension in the room, masks, distance, blowing through an instrument. What does this mean? What's going to happen? So I started reading stories. I started bringing in my son's like children's stories, and I would spend once a week reading a little book instead of a scale warm up. The warm up today is let's read about the magic unicorn or Thomas the Train or something. Just to turn the lights off. Let's just have a debrief. Let's just do something different. And I started to notice a change in the kids. They started to come alive. That removal from the dogma of what we should be doing into something that touched them here allowed us to grow and move forward. And it allowed us to accelerate into normalcy. And then Stuffed Animal Day was another big one. Bring your stuffed animal to band day. I had no idea it would be such a big deal. But once I said, next Wednesday is bring your stuffed animal to band day, we had 3 tables full of stuffed animals in the front of the room, and we played a concert for the stuffed animals. And the kids loved it. That was their audience. They went for 2 years with no audience. And that helped us.
He also went into detail about his favorite experience with a student and what about that experience comes into play every day.
You know, it's funny. My son asked me the same question this morning. And the story that I told him was I taught in West Valley, New York. It was my second job, a second stop. I taught in Massachusetts, then West Valley, then Cleveland Hill, and now the last 20 years I've been in Kenton. But in West Valley, I had a student named Eddie Delgado. And Eddie was one of the students that we had from a facility in town that was for like foster kids that didn't have placements. And so they would come and they studied at West Valley School. And I tried to recruit those kids as much as I could into the band program, start them on instruments. And Eddie was a natural tuba player. He didn't know that. So, you know, he would come and we would work constantly, and he got to be really good. And then Eddie went on and went to the military, had a career in the military, and he's doing really well for himself as an adult. But, you know, with experiences like that where you get to take you never know, a student's like a seed. Every one of us is a seed, right? And you don't know what that seed's going to become when it matures. All we can do as teachers is provide the right fertilization, the sunlight, the soil, and give them opportunities to grow and become who they are or what they're going to be. And I love watching each one of these seeds grow into the trees and the flowers and the weeds that they're going to become. And you know, that's really what the job of a teacher is, right? It's to inspire everybody to become what their true self.
And he didn't always want to teach.
In high school is when I figured out I wanted to, I loved playing trumpet. I started that as a kid. My father played trumpet, and something I really enjoyed doing. But, you know, for a brief period in my junior high years, I wanted to be a boxer, which really was kind of dumb. Then I got my nose broken, and my high school band director said, "So what do you really want to do with yourself?" And, you know, he took the time to introduce me to a private lesson teacher. So I started taking private lessons with Phil Christner from the Buffalo Philharmonic. And, you know, being around people like Phil and my band director, Floyd Freed, who's no longer with us, and Ken Parker, who was also one of my major influences in wanting me to be a teacher. And these guys just elevated how I felt about the profession. And my high school band director, because I was a City of Buffalo kid, made a deal with me where he would help me with my lessons as long as I helped the other students. And so I learned to be a teacher right from the get-go, and I loved it. And he even had me teaching his own daughter to earn money for my own private lessons. So, you you know, I in my mind, I wanted to be a professional player for a little while, you know, like a couple of years, go on the road, be a musician, and then go and teach. And it didn't really work out that way for me, but what did happen was that I learned to love teaching even more. And so my energy, my batteries are the students, and everything I do, you know, all day long is that that energy and enthusiasm comes from seeing a smile on a kid's face. You know, I'm not here to breed the next Philharmonic musician. I'm here to give 100% of these kids a positive experience that they will then want their children to enjoy. You know, we are all consumers, and you know, we are all people who have some connection to some music in some way, and that a lot of that happens when we're in high school. You know, when you're most emotionally influenced by music, and so I really want these kids to come away, every kid that I touch, to have an opportunity in their life to have that warm feeling and glow about being in a school music program, so that when they grow up, that they'll fight for the same kind of thing that they had.
Agulia's influence also goes beyond Kenmore East. Serving as nonprofit Music is Art's second vice chair, he helps to give a platform to other artists in the area.
Music is Art. Originally, I found out about Music is Art when they came in here with a band called Last Conservative years and years ago to do a program about, it was a suicide prevention program. They played a concert and talked to the audience of kids about you know, suicide prevention. And it was a powerful program. And you know, as I learned more about Music is Art and their function in our community, what Robbie Takak was trying to do, I started to think there's more that can be done with this organization because of the flexibility within the organization, and with Robbie's vision of being able to you know, have musicians of all genres be able to grow and learn together and play together and experience, and being able to put Western New York's best foot forward always. And Robbie and I had a conversation about you know, how can we marry some of the things that I was already doing with what Music is Art was doing. And you know, here we are, I think 14, 15 years later, I'm still involved in the organization at a high level. And I love the people that I'm involved with, the executive team, the volunteers, the executive director, Tracy, and Robbie. I mean, it's just a great family of people who are all invested in the same thing. We all want to help the musicians of Western New York find their voice and give them a platform and connect them. And that's inspire, ignite. And my job really is to do that through the youth and help them become integral members of our music family in Western New York as they grow. Introduce them to other musicians, professionals, and get them mentorship and opportunities.
Reporting in Kenmore, Adam Duke, News 4.